Alright everyone, well, as you guessed, I just saw Deadpool 2, that is. Yep, Ryan Reynolds returns in the sequel that, well, was hinted as early as March of last year when I saw the Marvel movie Logan, which is obviously the last Wolverine film and the first R-rated one of that character, but not to get too carried away. Yeah, I found it funny how that teaser trailer had basically no footage from this particular movie in general. I mean, we didn't really know what the plot was going to be about. We just knew the first film was going to get a sequel. And thankfully, first off, if you saw my review for the first movie, you would know that I really enjoyed the hell out of it. I mean, it's a great fourth wall, dark comedy starring Ryan Reynolds. And one thing that they got right, they didn't make it PG-13. Yes, they originally were going to wimp out with it, and because of that, Ryan Reynolds said no to it, so they figured, yeah, we got to make it R-rated. I mean, why wouldn't they? I mean, with all the blood, the swearing, and yeah, even sexual content and so forth, it has to be. I mean, that's just how Deadpool's character is. That's the whole concept of the movie. And, well, of course, it was a big hit, and here comes the sequel. Well, okay, minor to moderate spoilers on this one. I'm not going to go too heavy on spoilers. And first of all, yes, it follows through pretty good. I was a little iffy on seeing that Marvel was going to do a sequel, but leave it to Marvel. They know what they're doing, for the most part, with all these X-Men movies. And as you guessed, like you expect, it's kind of different, even though it is in the X-Men universe. It's, you know, as I said, it's kind of a spoof film in its own world. You know, the fact that he talks at the camera a lot and throws a lot of fourth wall puns and a lot of obnoxious remarks and everything. It's a comedy movie. You have to really be in the right mood and have the right mindset to really enjoy it. And I sure did as hell with this one, as much as I did with the first one. And this one doesn't disappoint as well. I mean, the opening credits from the first one were great, you know, that it was all, you know, not the real names, like produced by asshats, directed by an overpaid tool. And this one does sort of the same sort of thing, but, well, a couple of minutes in, actually, not at the very start. You know, it's got a lot of that, you know, narration and everything. Like the first movie, it tells like, oh, this is not a comedy, this is a horror film. This one, it's like, he starts out with just one genre saying, this is a family movie, and I was like, really? And it sort of makes sense in a way, but as I said, I'm not going to give too much away. It's more of like a revenge plot, you know, rather than, you know, an origin story about how he became Deadpool. And yeah, as I said, I'm not going to go too heavy on spoilers with this, but there's a lot of kills, lots of blood, lots of swearing, lots of new characters, as well as some returning ones, like the taxi driver from the first movie, the guy from the bar, and you probably know him as the voice of Fred in Big Hero 6, and as well as his girlfriend, you know, Vanessa, and Mega Teenage Sonic Warhead, and yes, even Colossus, the same Russian-sounding one as the last movie. And now our newest characters, in which this film has definitely a shit ton of, which brings us to our film's main villain that you saw in the trailer. Well, surprisingly, is not really a villain, but as I said, not too much spoiler on it, but it's Cable. And yes, I find it funny how he's the same guy, Josh Brolin, who plays Thanos in the Avengers Infinity War, and of course I'm sure he's going to come back in next year's sequel. And hell, there's even a reference to it, but yeah, that's a moderate spoiler right there. There's references to other films in this. There's so many innuendos, there's so many jokes that may seem a little cringeworthy, but at the same time, you will laugh your ass off at if you really get that kind of humor and everything. I mean, this movie just goes like out of control with all the puns, the action, and everything like that. And it's all about, of course, protecting this one kid who has a real problem with revenge as well. And it sort of does come together pretty well in this interesting, twisted sort of way, if you get my point. If you see the movie, you'll know what I'm talking about, but basically it focuses around this mutant kid with fiery powers and everything. And hell, they even bring freaking Juggernaut into this. Damn. Yeah, if you wanted to see Juggernaut fight Colossus, well, here's your chance. So, yeah, the way it all comes together, it works out, and it's pretty funny, and there's a lot of interesting twists and nods to other films, and even time travel involved with this. So yeah, that's the most moderate spoiler I'll give away in this. But otherwise, yeah, it's an interesting story, and it's hilarious, it's dark, and just like the first movie, parents be cautioned, this is not a kid's movie. There's so many inappropriate jokes and foul language and sexual references and so forth, you know, that you would definitely not want your kids to see or hear. So yep, not R-rated for a stupid reason, so don't be one of those dumb parents that takes their kids in to see this and regrets it. So, And yes, there is stuff during the middle of the credits, so thankfully you don't have to wait throughout the entire credits, and I highly recommend seeing it. Trust me, I laughed my ass off when I saw it. It's references to other films that I really shouldn't give too much away. Just watch it and see it for yourself. You will really get a kick out of it. I thought this movie was great. If you like the first one, as I said, this one is definitely a steaming chimichanga that definitely still has a good taste. So, in other words, Deadpool 2, in some terms may not be as good as the first, but I think it still holds on together pretty well. I mean, I think they were aware of it, they knew what they were talking about, and it's the kind of humor I certainly enjoy, so rocking Weird Mode Mu Motion Plus up and playing Weird Mode up. Definitely worth it. So, till next time, keep watching.